was what happens typically when you reach out to the world and you're making introductions. Right? Number one, you looked at somebody and you sized them up. You thought to yourself, is this person interesting? Is this person smart? Is this person talented? Does this person have a big stick up their back end? Whatever. You sat back and you judged them. We are all the perpetuators and the victims of prejudice every day. There's not a single person in this room that hasn't been inappropriately prejudged. There isn't a single person in this room that hasn't been the perpetuator of prejudice. I say that everybody in this room has been the victim of prejudice. I mean, even look at Tom, that white cracker, that Tom is. This guy has been the victim of prejudice. And you know why I know that? I told this story before. Just recognize that every time somebody's in front of you, there is a potential for a soul to touch. And guess whose soul that is? It's not theirs, it's yours. Every time you see somebody, you've got to make a choice to care. You've got to make a choice to care. And oddly enough, relationships in this world is a choice. It's a choice that you can decide right now, the next person that I talk to, I'm going to care. It's that simple. It doesn't take you any longer to choose to care than it did to choose to get that last introduction over with because the guy on stage told me to do it. I want you to go back to that same person that, in a moment, you guys are very quick to act. When I say go, I want you to go back to that same person and I want you to practice a simple exercise. I just want you to look them in the eyes and I want you to say to yourself, I'm going to care. I am going to care. And I guarantee you that simple act of looking at someone's eyes and deciding to care will get you 90% of the way there. The second thing that you've got to do is you've got to get them to tell you their story. What do I mean by that? You all know how the power of story. Story is, as a friend of mine calls it, emotional transportation. Somebody says, what are you really passionate about? Oh, my kids. Great. You don't really care. It's like you just checked a box. But get them to tell you their story. Tell me about that. Tell me why you're so passionate about your children. Tell me a story. Tell me about their last birthday. Tell me about the last holiday that you experienced with them. Tell me what they did in the last couple of weeks that made you proud or scared or interested. Tell me a story. What you're doing and what I want all of us to do in this world, and this will transform your life. If you take nothing away from the time that we're going to spend together going forward, if you do nothing else, but just remember this, your jobs in life are to walk around the world, creating an environment around yourself that invites people in to want to have a better relationship with you. Your job in this world is to walk around the world creating an environment that invites people in to want to have a better relationship with you. God, I look out on this couple of thousand people and I just realize that if every one of you in this room were to begin to do that, the impact and the touch that it would have on your worlds and our society for that matter. Our churches aren't as full as they used to be. Our community centers aren't as full as they used to be. People don't join clubs. They go into gyms and they put iPods on and they isolate themselves. Where is our community? Naturally, as human animals, and we're animals, we are hardwired and designed to work in community. Back in the olden days, they were called tribes. In the way olden days, when it was like 70,000 years ago and there were only 12 of those tribes in Africa. And those groups, if they didn't connect and come together, they wouldn't survive. As a result, as humans, we are hardwired to our DNA, to our core, to connect, to serve, to help each other be successful. Because if we didn't, we were thrown out, we'd be eaten by mountain lions by ourselves. So we got to connect. And we long for it. When you do connect, that's your time that I say you feel an exhale. And somebody actually makes you feel like you belong. That's a powerful invitation. I want you to ask somebody, what is your passion? And as they start to tell you, I want you to say, what is your story? Tell me your story about that passion. Your children, your hobbies, your whatever. Tell me your story. And I want you to share, and I want both of you to get good time. So you're only going to get 4 minutes to do this. You got 2 minutes each.